Welcome. So glad that you're here. I'm Andrea. Hi, Sarah. La Tortuga. What's your name? I'd love to know what your name is. And anyone else, if your handle isn't your name, I'd love to see what your name is. Today I am going to be sharing 5 tips to build your confidence before your first Periscope. Oh, hi, Erin. Thank you for sharing that. I appreciate that. Thanks for being here. Okay, so my name's Andrea, and I'm a blogger. I blog at Tabler Party 2. Hi, Southern Maid. Gotta tell me your name. I'd love to hear your name. Thanks for being here. So I've been blogging over at Tabler Party of 2 for a year. I blog about recipes, crafts. I blog about faith and empty nest adventures and style. And I love sharing tips with other bloggers because I want y'all to succeed, because you can. And whether you're brand new, you've never done it before, or you just want to go to the next level, I just have a passion for helping you learn some of the things that took me a long time to learn, that I sort of learned on my own. But I think it doesn't have to be that way. I can help give you some of the tips that I figured out along the way. For those of you just joining, my name's Andrea, and I blog at Tabler Party of 2, and we're gonna put this on me here. There we go. Hi there. Okay. All right. So I'm so glad that y'all are here today. Oh, you've done a few scopes, Erin. Awesome. Oh, you got trolled. Oh, bless your heart. That is such a bummer, and it hasn't happened to me yet. Oh my gosh. Wow. Okay, you got to just keep going. Don't worry about it, you know, and you just block it and keep on going. And I'm sure I'm going to need to remember my own advice when it happens to me for the first time. It's bound to happen soon. So, anyway, anyone else on here want to get on Periscope and do some live scopes, but you've been a little bit too afraid? I'd love to hear what's holding you back. Sarah, trolling is when someone gets on and they either leave maybe a lewd comment or just something mean and nasty. And you know what I gotta do, I believe, is hit them and hit their name and block them. Yeah, they're just mean for no reason. It's ridiculous. Thanks, Erin. So, hey, that's a tip number 1 that I wasn't going to share, is you can block anyone that's on your scope that's making you feel uncomfortable for any reason whatsoever. You can hit their name and press block, and they'll be gone. So, all right, so let's get started. Hey, I'd love to answer your questions, so save them till towards the end. I'm going to be sharing 5 tips here on Periscope, and then later you can head over to my blog, tablerpartyof2.com, and I am going to be sharing a few more tips there. So, hey, Mad March here. What's your name? I'd love to see what your real name is. I love being able to talk to y'all by name. So, and when you send me your questions, I'd love it if you type your name in all caps or something like that. Hey, if you know someone who, hey, Teresa, thanks. If you know someone who you think really could benefit from building their confidence up to do their own scope, I'd love it if you'd share. If you're on an Android, swipe up, and if you're on a iOS device, swipe to your right and scroll down a little, and you'll be able to share. And I've been getting a few hearts here. Thank you, guys, and love hearts. I don't like to beg for hearts, but I do love them because it's just encouraging that whatever I'm sharing with you is helpful, and I do appreciate them. And also, if I share something that resonates with you and that you like, then when you double tap your screen and send me hearts, that's how I know that the information was helpful, and I appreciate that. And one last thing, if you ask a question on here and I don't get to answer it, I always go back and look at my recordings of Periscope, and I will be sure to answer your question on Twitter, okay? So let's get going. All right, my first tip to help you build your confidence before you hop on Periscope is videotape yourself for just a few minutes right before you go live. I did that, and it was really helpful. I noticed a few little things. I did mine outside because I didn't have any proper lighting. Actually, it was a little bit late in the day. I didn't have any lighting. I have the Lumi light now, which is really awesome. And here, I'll show it to you. It's this. See? That's so cool. It's super cool. I learned about it from Coach Glitter and Shalene Johnson. It's actually an iPhone case, and it has lights on it. And I have it just propped on something, but you can attach it to something, and it's a really relatively inexpensive way to get lighting right off the bat before investing in something that costs, say, a couple of $100s. Anyway, so my first scope, I did it outside, so I'd have natural light, and I just used my iPhone and videotaped myself talking about what I was going to share for just a few minutes, and then I went and looked at it, and I thought, okay, that wasn't half bad, and if I can do that again, I'll be okay. It just gave me that little bit of confidence I needed to press start broadcast for the first time. Hi there, welcome, thank you for joining That Square Plate. All right, be sure to tell me your first name, I'd love to hear it. Okay, so that's the first tip. My second tip is you need to know how to start and stop your scope. Now, if you've never done a periscope yet, you wouldn't necessarily think that this would be an issue, but it sort of is. I thought I could just start my periscope with the camera facing me, but that's not the case. It will start facing elsewhere. So you want to have something that it's focused on, something pretty or something interesting, and you can tap right away to get it focused right on you. You just double tap the screen, but just keep in mind for your very first scope, it's going to be facing the opposite direction when you first hit broadcast. And then the funny thing when I did my first scope was I didn't know how to stop it. And I had seen another newbie on Periscope the week before who didn't know how to stop it. And I remember thinking, okay, I got to know how to do that. And I still forgot to check into it. And even on my second scope, who's that? Oh, yes, I know. I don't understand. Hopefully that's something, hopefully they'll change that where it won't start facing you, because it just seems like a tedious thing to have to deal with right at the beginning. Anyway, so back to not knowing how to stop my scope. I still didn't know how to stop it. On my second Periscope, I even took a Periscope course online, and it wasn't really mentioned how you stop the Periscope. So on my second scope, I just said, look, people, I'm so sorry, but I don't know how to stop this thing. And someone gracefully and thankfully told me, you swipe down and then you can stop it. So that's how you can have a little more confidence, because, you know, you don't need to have those little hiccups that are preventable. So hopefully that one will help you out. All right, when you first start your scope, I think it's important to start talking immediately, even if you have to take a second to flip the camera towards yourself, or if you, hi Tanya, I'm glad you're here. Even if you take a moment to put the camera on yourself, or if you're just focusing on something else, like at the beginning of this scope, I had it focused on my computer screen where you could see the title of the scope. Just be sure that you start talking right away, because even if it shows no one is there, guess what? There are people who may be watching and probably are watching on their desktop or laptop on Twitter. And then also, people can watch a replay. So you don't want to have a bunch of blank space there greeting them when they first show up. Thank you, Tanya. I love compliments like that. Hey, I have to share a funny tip with y'all. My friend Tanya is on here, and she knows I struggle, like I don't have the greatest hair. And you know what my new favorite thing about Periscope is, and I'm not even kidding you, is it doesn't matter what the back of your hair looks like. And I just love that. So I can just sort of, you know, do something with the front, and who knows, the back has been in a ponytail all day, but that's just our little secret. Okay, so a couple more tips to give you some confidence so that you can do your first scope. I want you to smile. And I know that sounds like a funny tip to give, but you know, when you smile, I think it just relaxes you, and you're going to see yourself smiling in the camera, and it just tends to take away some of the butterflies, and I think it helps you engage with your audience a little bit more if you're smiling and you look like you're having fun. You know, if you're just sitting there saying, well, I really think you should smile when you do your Periscope, you know, you look a little nervous, but even if you are nervous and you're smiling when you say it, you come across as more relaxed, and I think that your audience is going to connect with you just a little bit more. So we are getting close to the end of my 5 tips. I'd love to take your questions. If you have any, please ask away. My 5th tip I'm going to share here, I got from Chip Hoffa. I was watching one of his Periscopes just about an hour ago, and I love this piece of advice. He said, don't go back to your replay and watch it over and over and critique yourself. You know, you can watch it once. I always watch it once at least because I want to see if people ask any questions that I missed somehow. So don't sit and watch it over and over again, because you're really not going to get any better by watching it and critiquing yourself. But what will help you to get better is just doing it. And I have to tell you, I was so frightened the first time. I really was. And my husband kept laughing at me because I was doing it outside and I kept coming in the house and I was using a selfie stick. I'm like, how do I use the selfie stick? I can't get the camera in here. And then I'd run back in again and say, oh, I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to do that. And I really was very nervous. And believe it or not, I did my second scope the very next night and I wasn't even nervous. So I don't know what to make of that other than it really will get easier over time. And so just have fun with it and try not to be overly critical of yourself, because even the people who are the very best and the most relaxed and comfortable on here, they were probably nervous on their very first one too, because hey, this is a brand new form of social media. And for most of us, I know for me, I'm not used to being on video. I'm certainly not used to looking at myself talk into a camera. So I'm so glad that y'all have been here today. I'm just going to recap real quick. Number one, film yourself first. That will give you confidence. It'll make you, it'll help you know whether you're smiling. It'll help you see whether you've got hair out of place. Any other tools you like to use? I'm going to come right back to that. It'll help you see if you've got hair out of place or lipstick on your teeth. So you always want to do a quick check, whether it's a video or photography or just turning your phone toward yourself on the video so that you can just see. And but for that very first scope, I would recommend just videotaping yourself for a minute, 2 minutes, or 3. I think it'll really give you the confidence you need. And Teresa, while I'm sharing my next on the recap, could you are you talking about tools like I mentioned the light? Are you talking about things like that that help you to do a better job? Or just let me know a little more specifically what you're looking for. Okay, my second tip, and I don't really know what order I went in. Oh, I think my second tip that I want to recap was know how to start and how to stop. Again, I'm going to be posting these on my blog later today along with some other tips. So I'll make sure to mention exactly how you do it. I'm not going to repeat it here. And then I shared that you need to smile, because smiling is always nice and friendly, and you'll just engage with your audience better. You'll see yourself smiling and you'll feel more relaxed, I promise. It just works that way, trust me. And okay, Teresa, you asked about the mic. I am not using a mic yet. I'm just taking it slowly. I'm buying this in, a little bit here and there. I bought the Lumi light. I think it was $69 or $79. And as of right now, this is sort of funny, but for a tripod, I'm still using a selfie stick in a vase. It works perfectly fine. And but I did order a tripod today. It's called a Gorilla Pod. I'm super excited to get it. It has these funky little legs. You can attach it to different things. You could attach it to a tree branch if you're outside. You could attach it to anything, really. So as of Monday, I'll have a tripod. And then next on my list is the mic. And I'm going to get the Rode Lav. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but I know it's made by Rode, R-O-D-E. And I follow a lot of people who have been on here for a few more weeks than me, who also have a little more of a background on video. So I'm really following what they're purchasing and going for that. All right, and then the other tool I want to get, I'm hoping I'm less than a month away from getting it, is called the ring light, the Stellar ring light. And apparently it just puts a beautiful glow on your face. It sort of diminishes the lines on your face. So I'm really looking forward to that one. Okay, so I've recapped all the tips except the last one, which is don't critique yourself too much on those when you look at the replay, because you're only going to get better by doing it some more, okay? All right, don't forget that, oh, thank you for hearts. Please, hearts, if you liked this. I'd love the encouragement. I think I got to 3,000 hearts yesterday. It's not a lot, but I'm excited about it nonetheless. Don't forget that I'm going to be sharing these tips and 5 more tips on Tabler Party of 2 later today. And thank you, Tanya. I appreciate that. I try to be encouraging. I know I love to be encouraged, and so I appreciate that. And the one thing I want to share and leave you with is in this whole little process of learning how to periscope, just have fun, because you know, it actually really is fun. So have a blast. Thanks for stopping by today. Don't forget to share if you think someone could benefit from this. And if you're watching this on the replay, thank you so much for being here. If you have any questions, just shoot them to me on Twitter and I'll be sure to answer. Y'all have a great afternoon. Take care.